after the video that I released on Wednesday, giving you guys some final thoughts on the whole Crowder Daily Wire beef, I felt it might be a good idea to come back up here after seeing this latest thing that I just saw that came from Candace Owens. And I think it might be a good idea to kind of sort of give some additional thoughts. However, this right here is not thoughts on the Daily Wire. So don't think for a second that I'm going to be talking about the Daily Wire here. I'm talking strictly about Candace Owens in this video. I'm not even really going to mention Crowder or anything like that. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and make a very, very, and I mean very bold prediction. If Candace Owens at this moment in time does not stop going on about this issue, which by the way, she has now gone officially much, much longer than I have, and don't worry, I'll play this here for you in a second. Candace Owens is going to find herself without a job, and I will explain to you why in this video, why the hell she could very, very well be about to be on the decline.
Or in my opinion, I don't know what the Daily Wire is going to say about it further, but the reason why this doesn't really matter is I think that people are really seeing just how nasty what you did was, and I think that I would hope that you would come to terms with the fact that you owe everybody an apology, that this was never necessary, that you can start whatever company you want. You don't get to step in like a socialist, and it is socialist-like. These are the demands that you hear, and people are trying to establish a union when the Amazon workers have walked out because they have decided that they are worth more, that they should have 3-hour lunch breaks. They've gotten their contract from...
So we're just going to keep things personal, call the guy socialist, and make this entire thing about the money when it's pretty obvious at this moment in time that it was about the provisions in the contract, about big tech and stuff like that right there. I don't know if you guys are noticing a bit of a pattern here, but I have never seen anybody fall so fast in less than a week. And by that, I'm talking about Red Pill Black here, which I just may start referring to her as from now on. Red Pill Black, by the way, was what she was known as like in the very, very beginning. Right around that time that she claimed to have a conversion from being a social justice warrior doxer. Look, I'm going to say this multiple times in this video here, but then of course I kind of want to lay this issue down after today. Fact of the matter is this right here, Candace, this right here is all nothing more than projection about your own contract, because I'm pretty sure at this point in time, with what we know now, you were probably lowballed, and of course you feel stupid, and this right here is just good old-fashioned projection and just continuing up the narrative in the game. You've already been exposed. Okay, guys, there's some stuff there said, and you guys can interpret however you want, but here's the thing that I want to say, okay? And I experienced this the other day in the second video that I did on the whole Crowder Daily Wire thing, where I asked the question who was right and who was wrong. And one of my subscribers said that you sound more like a freaking liberal. Okay. This right here is kind of like the last thing you accuse somebody of when they have an actual disagreement. Now, guys, me for the most part, I have always been very, very much a social conservative and very, very much a pro-big-time capitalist. I'm very, very pro-gun, and I love my actual country, okay? And I come up here and I attack the left every day, so obviously you guys know by now that obviously I'm not on the left side of the aisle. I highly doubt Steven Crowder is too, especially given the fact that he spent every day, I guess for the past 12 years or so, online in some form or fashion attacking the left. Also, something else about Crowder, and like I said, I didn't mean to talk much about this, is that he is a student of Breitbart. Also, one more thing about Ben Shapiro, and I kind of felt that I kind of lacked a little bit there in the previous video, so I'll probably mention just a very, very wee bit. He should know this as well because he too kind of sort of came from Breitbart. Crowder is a student of Andrew Breitbart, whereas Candace Owens, for the most part, at one point in time, she was called Red Pill Black. And by the way, we don't like to keep bringing up the actual past on her because, for the most part, us conservatives are really and truly quite forgiving, okay? And sometimes when you accuse us of something, we just kind of laugh it off like it's nothing. It's not that uncommon for us to be accused of something we just not just laugh in your face. And that's basically what I'm trying to say. But calling Crowder a socialist, I think is kind of like it just reeks of pure desperation. And I'll explain why it is that I don't think she'll have a job in the near future. As a matter of fact, I even tweeted about it the night that she went on Tim Pool and went off and went crazy on his podcast. I tweeted about the fact that she would not have a job in 6 months, and I think that little prophecy, as I know we got a long ways to go, just may be getting proven true. Now, let's go ahead and go back in time. And like I said, we don't like to do this, but we're going to do it here. Candace Owens was known as Red Pill Black at one point in time. There were several videos made on her SJW past, all that type of stuff there. She had other prominent conservatives accusing her of being a little bit too suburban and not, I guess you could say being black enough, which I kind of didn't understand that at the time. But then I realized, wait a minute, wait. I live in the southeastern United States. I'm, for the most part, from a rural area. I think I know what these people are saying. These right here are the same people of color that you went to school with. And even though you did not go to, even though you didn't live in a city or whatnot, you were raised around certain people, certain personalities. It's one of the main reasons why. And this is something that I talked about in my Carl and Borsenko videos, where I said that the South does not have the racial problem or does not have the, let's just say, the racism problem that's being perpetuated to us on a daily basis by white liberals, mostly due to the fact that we in the South are typically around other people of other actual colors. For example, I got to quote this again. Where I live at, the racial demographic is right around 60% white, I think 23% black, and I want to say it's about 16% Hispanic. Fact of the matter is this right here. For every 3 white people out there, or every 2 to 3 white people, there's always a black person there. So chances are you probably run into somebody of color. I had to kind of fall back to that argument. Now, the thing you have to understand about Candace is, of course, she is from Connecticut, okay? She was obviously raised in Connecticut, and she did a lot of videos, of which, by the way, she at one point in time was also a doxer. Now, I typically don't tend to go off these attacks and try to use these as a reference point. I'm just kind of giving you guys a little bit of, let's just say a little bit of history here, because obviously a lot of people are looking into it. One of those people is Jeremy the Quarterly. He kept on bringing up social autopsy, which I have watched too, and I didn't really think, okay, I was like, okay, obviously this is pretty well damning, but if you start calling other people a socialist who simply disagree with you, people at some point in time are going to start to dig into your past, and they're going to start to spread that information around, and eventually those old sins are probably going to come back up and come back to bite you in the ass. Now, gang, here is the thing that I wanted to say, okay? As I have said before, the minute you go personal is the minute that you lose the entire discussion and you lose the argument. And, of course, we've already seen ABL. We've already seen the officer Brandon Tatum, who, quite frankly, I'm still wondering how the hell they even went viral. We've obviously seen these guys come out and simp for her, okay? And like I said, we're not even talking about Crowder anymore. We're just talking about the Daily Wire's freaking response. The Daily Wire's response, as I mentioned in the last video, was if you had not gone personal, you probably would not be under any form of scrutiny. Now, guys, I haven't watched the Daily Wire today or anything like this, where I just caught some of Candace Owens on Twitter a while ago. And obviously, I saw a little bit more to kind of catch her in much, much further context. And my response is this right here. You have a lot of people right now who are, how do I say, crossover. For example, and I mentioned this in the previous video, I've watched Crowder for a long time, but I also will watch Michael Knowles. I'll also watch Andrew Clavin, and from time to time, I'll listen to Jordan Peterson. That's 3 Daily Wire personalities. And if you count Matt Walsh every now and again, that is 4. Shapiro, like I said before, I don't really care for him that much, but I have watched his content. There's obviously some crossover here. There's also other conservative personalities that you may watch. And there are definitely some who are both Team Crowder and Team Daily Wire in the sense that they watch both forms of content and they want this entire thing to go away. If you keep bringing this up, which Crowder is not bringing it up, after a while, you're just going to alienate the literal hell out of the fans. And that right there could lead to, which, of course, could result in you losing viewers. Now, guys, the point that I'm trying to make is this right here. The reason why people don't like it when you may go personal is mostly due to the fact that when you go personal, the politics and the professionalism is completely gone. You start bringing up old things, and if you start bringing up old crap, people are going to start bringing up old crap about you, and they're just going to simply be reminded of who you were before you came over. And at some point in time, the Daily Wire, who, by the way, does have a crossover, and if I didn't say this already, when you've got people who watch both Crowder and you watch Shapiro or you watch Michaels, which, by the way, Shapiro was streaming on Rumble from what I understand the past couple of days, which I think is kind of funny because they don't want to go to Rumble all of a sudden, which, by the way, at some point in time, all of us have to create an account. Oh, also something else too, Viva Fry, I forgot to mention him. He said, oh, there he has it. He admits he wants to be on Rumble and YouTube. Yeah, okay, so he wants to have a channel on YouTube and a channel on Rumble to expand his reach. Okay, so what the fuck is wrong with that? Well, basically what I'm trying to say is this right here. Once you go personal about stuff, guess what the hell's going to happen? The more and more you talk, the dumber you freaking look. I said before that I don't think the girl will last 6 more months because at some point in time, the crossover audience that was pro-Crowder, which, by the way, is probably a big portion of that audience, or maybe it's a bigger portion of the audience than I initially thought. At some point in time, they're just going to cut it off. And when those views are down and the revenue is down, eventually you're going to get a call into the office, and you're going to have to look at that 5'1", 5'2", turkey-necked little dude with his voice, and he's going to say, "You know what, Candace? We here at the Daily Wire have really enjoyed having you around. But ever since this Crowder thing, your viewership has really gone down. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to allow you to go out there and go personal on Tim Pool. Okay, I just said, well, you told me to go. Yeah. We're kind of backing up from that. Look, we're going to want your resignation, or we're going to fire you here in the next couple of months. So you need to go ahead and leave. Go ahead and write a tweet or whatnot. We are terminating our relationship with you, Candace. The Daily Wire is over with." I'm just saying it's a possibility. I mean, and I'm actually to a certain degree kind of calling it. Fact of the matter is, the minute you go personal, that's pretty much it. But then again, though, she does have her simps, ABL and Brandon Tatum, there to catch her and run fire for a rescue. And don't worry, they'll probably attack the DW once they get the full details of that right there. Guys, with that right there being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this video right here. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, share the video, sign up in the comment section. It will be out on Thursday, and I will see you guys later.
I didn't like that. The teeny weeny arms and the skinny weeny legs and that so turkey looking neck.